Was starting a video at 10:30 a good choice? Well, I cannot answer that question, but I can say it was a choice. And also, am I about a month and a half-ish late? No. No. So sitting in front of me, actually haunting me right now, is a very large stack of books. I think it might be taller than my dog, but he's not very tall. Let me just bring it in and get really close to you if you're okay with that. Okay. Is my floor dirty? Oh well. Here's a stack. You can't even see the whole stack. Oh man. Okay. Here we go. Here's a stack. It's a little sneak peek. Let's see how many books are in this. Where does that look lovely right now? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So let's give you another sneak peek. There's quite a bit of books. Now I know that I should probably move this away from my floor. I know that a lot of booktubers, book YouTubers, you know, they show up and they're like, I read 130 books. Well, I read a certain number less than that. So I guess I should start getting into the books. So, legal. January. Do I have 2 books in January? Yes, I do. Now I will warn you that the first half of the year, the books and the months are very low. The amount of books in each month are very low. So don't expect 5 books in 1 month. Just gonna warn you. I think there's like only 1 month where that happened, maybe 2. So the first book I actually started reading on Christmas Day last year, 2021. I keep thinking we just did Christmas 2023. I feel like there's been 2 Christmas 2022s, but that book was Crooked Kingdom by, of course, Leigh Bardugo. Like, of course I started the year with Leigh Bardugo, obviously. It's the chunkiest book in the bunch, actually. If you see this, just know that's where I'm keeping my notes. This is a paid actor. What's your name? Bradley? Is this a Bradley? If it's a boy, it's a Bradley. If it's a girl, it's a Tiffany. Vote the song's name, Bradley or Tiffany. Okay. It's the chunkiest book in the bunch. It's 561 pages. And my rating for this book still is 5 stars. Obviously. I also wrote notes to make this video easier for me to edit and quicker. So I wrote easy to visualize. All of her books are really easy to visualize, and that's kind of surprising because it's fantasy. In my opinion, fantasy is a little bit harder because it's a new world. Also said funny, because it is funny. Great quotes. Like, I could put a bunch of the quotes on the screen right now because it's just, so it is funny. There's a lot of jokes, there's a lot of humor. Everybody lives. And nobody dies. Nobody. Not one. So it's just so good. I love this book. I really love this book. Okay. Oh, how long have I been talking about this book? How's this video already at 9 minutes? I'm only on one book. The second book I read in the year, actually, is The Inheritance Games. I really like this cover. Now, the dilemma with The Inheritance Games for me was I wanted to start watching the show Shadow and Bone, but my brain for some reason was like, let me read this book first. So the whole time I was reading this book, I just wanted to watch this show, but I didn't want to watch it without reading the book first. And so did my distraction of a show, how do you say that word? You know what I'm trying to say. Of a show take away from the book? Maybe. Possibly. But it was a good book. I was gonna say that before I tell you my rating. So, oh, and of course it's by Lynn Barns. I gave it 3.5 stars. It would have been 4 if I wasn't distracted. I said cute. It is cute. Creative. She's I feel like everything with her riddles and her puzzles, the whole concept is just really creative. And great mystery. Gotta love a good great mystery. A good great mystery. Not a great mystery, a good great mystery. Did I already say the page number? I feel like I already said the page number, but I will say it again so that I can say that word, has to take it out again. 369 nope, that is 385 pages. February. Sorry, was that loud? February, did I only read one book in February? But the book I read, of course, is Shadow and Bone. It's a pretty cover. Of course, I had to start reading this immediately so I could watch the show. It feels so crazy. I started watching that show like a year ago. Oh man. Time moves too quick sometimes. Just like slow down a little bit. It's by Leigh Bardugo. Obviously. Wait, hold on. You're telling me I read this book? I read it, I looked at its cover, I bought it, looked at its cover, I had it for a year, and I have not noticed that there's a sticker still on the book. Why have I not taken this off yet? I just made history. The person who took the longest to take a sticker off of their book put me in the Hall of Fame. Okay. Oh man, I was gonna see if that sticker could stick to the wall. Okay. 369 pages. There's a lot of 300-page books in this selection. I don't know why that happened. I gave it 4 stars. It's a good amount of stars. I said great world building because I feel like Leigh Bardugo does great world building, but this was the first book in the whole books. What? I also wrote magic powers. Yee. Just yee. Such a cool concept. I'm so happy that they made a show out of this. That they're continuing to make a show out of all of this. Yeah, it was just really fun to read. I love Leigh Bardugo books. Now this book took a few months to read. It It was a good book though. Like, my rating says it's a good book. And that book is Emergency Contact by Mary, what's her name? Mary H.K. Choi. It's such a pretty cover too. It's like, it's so pretty, you know. I like this cover. Ooh, it has a good flop. Did you hear that? Listen. That audio probably sounded terrible. It's 416 pages. I gave it 4.5 stars. And I wrote, it's naturally funny, deep, and touching. It's like the jokes in here are just natural. They're not like I'm telling a joke. You know, there's a difference, because Crooked Kingdom is funny because it's obviously a joke. You know, characters obviously saying something to be funny. But this one is just, you're just naturally funny. You're born that way. Everything you say is funny. Now, story time. Quick story time, because we're already 16 minutes. This book is based in Austin, and I started reading this when I went to Austin, and I read like a big chunk of it. I don't know how much I read. I probably read like this much, like half of it. And then I came home, and all this rest half of it was like 1 week, 4 weeks later, 5 weeks later. You know, it was just, it was a slow process. I don't know why, but it's a really good book. I recommend it. I recommend all these books. So, May. Okay, well, another winner. Is that a book? Is that a book? Is that a word? Now, oh, why does this feel so chunky in my hands? What the heck? Okay, in May, I read Sage and Storm. I wonder what the time is. By Leigh Bardugo. It's the second in the Shadow and Bone series. It's a little snake. It's 448 pages. Little chunker. I gave it 4.5 stars. And my notes are Nikolai, obviously, pirate ships, and twins. So there's your look into this book. This book, it's a good book. I don't know what to say. It's a good book. So I read this in May. Sorry about the low number of books that I read in May. Ooh, the June category. The first book I read in June. I love this book so much. Okay, this book is actually in my top 5 favorites. A book, People We Meet on Vacation. I love this book so much. It's funny. It's cute. It's good. It's a good book. 382 pages. Another 300 page book. I gave it 5 stars, obviously. I think. Yeah, so far we've only had 2 5-star books, so I said deeply emotional and starkly funny. Great outline and storyline. Also, that is a quote on the back of the book. Deeply emotional and starkly funny. That does describe this book. I actually read this on vacation. So, did that make the book better? Maybe. But it was still a really good book. So, I like this book. I love this book, actually. Read it. Read it. Unless you're my grandma. Actually, you can't read it if you're my grandma. Okay, next. I also read part of this on the vacation. That is What to Say Next. Oh, wind back a few minutes ago is by Emily Henry. I have like 2 other books by her, and I really want to read them. So I need to read those. Okay, it says What to Say Next by Julie Buxam. Buxam. I don't know how to pronounce that name. It's flipping over to the next page. It is 301 pages. It's very short. It's like almost 200 pages. 4 stars. Okay, flopping has a nice flop. 4 stars. Had lots of fun reading. I did. It's just a cute book, you know? Continuing, June. Rune and Rising. You might recognize this book if you've if you watched my 24-hour video, which I want to do one again. I am so happy I read this book in a 24-hour challenge because it just made things. I would have read this book, probably would have taken me like the same amount as Emergency Contact, and I would have been too scared to keep reading the next chapter. But I was like, I can't be scared. The only enemy against me is time. That didn't make any sense. There's a Barnaby here and here. 465 pages. I gave it, I should probably stop looking down. I gave it 4 stars. I said, great book to read in 24-hour challenge. Adventurous. It is adventurous. I'm so happy I read the whole trilogy this night. I'm so happy I read the whole trilogy in 1 year. Okay, last book I read in June. See Hawthorn Legacy. Oh, I keep forgetting to say her name. Jennifer Lynn Barns. That's who wrote this. It's the second in the Inheritance Games. 369 pages. And 4.5 stars. And I said everything Inheritance Games, but better. The characters, although they were mostly the same, to me seemed better. Everything, even the mystery, was a little bit better. It was the same as Inheritance Games, but more. So, I have the 3rd book, but I've not read it yet. Also, there's going to be a 4th one. I did not know this until just recently. Like, does anybody else know about this? Am I the only one? July. How does that song go? I read 1 book in July. It's because I didn't like it? No, I actually really like this book. Red, White, and Royal Blue. I've talked about this book a lot on my channel. Sorry. It's such a cute cover. I just can't get over this cover. I can't get over this cover. I just can't. Ooh, by Casey McQuinston. Like McDonald's, but instead of Donald's, it's Quinston. $425 pages. I'm already squishing my face in this book. 425 pages. I don't know why I repeated that. 4.5 stars. Why it was not 5? Maybe because it took me a long time to read, and I was like, dang it, my TBR, my end of the month wrap up is going to be so freaking short. So it's wait. It says starkly funny. Surprises. It was surprising. There's a lot of surprises. Victory fist pumps. Oh man, there's so many moments in this book where I was like, yes, yes, yes. So, July. July might have been small, but our hearts were large. August. August. My birthday month. Kind of find an excuse of why it took me a whole month to read a really short book. But I can't. There's no excuses. I just took a really long time to read a really short book. The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. Yeah, 295 pages. A short book. 4.5 stars. I said beachy, cute, emotional. If you're ever going to the beach, read this book. I did not read this book at any beach. I don't think I even read it by water. Closest water I read it by was probably a sink. I think this ring light is melting part of my brain, so that's nice. You can see I have the show cover. I actually got the next book in this series, and I also got the show cover in that version. I keep saying read. I watched the show on my TV. It's a good show. Actually, I think I like both of them. There are things I like better in this show, and things I like better in the show, and then there are things I like better in the book. This counts as July and September, but I will probably count it as August. What did I just say? This counts for August and September, but since there's a lot of books in September, I will count this for August. And am I gonna do this whole video in one day? Oh no. That's Dreamology by Lucy Keating. I feel like I said Lucy, very weird. I get 4 stars. It's 317 pages. Oh yeah, I guess it is that short. Oh, creative. It is very creative. And I said I love the dream theme because one of my favorite books is Catcher, which is also a smaller book. That's kind of creepy, I'm sorry. It's one of my favorite books, and it's dream theme. It's very similar. I can't say words to this. I really like that theme. Where, like, somebody is in a dream and now they're real and something's happening, you know. I really like that. It's such a cool concept, and it was a cute book. It was cute. It was funny. It was just really creative. All of it was really creative. I don't know if I had these in the right order, so sorry. First book I read in September. The Language of Thorns. Midnight Tales and Dangerous Magic by Leigh Bardugo, obviously. It's 228 pages. I gave it 4.5 stars. I said loved the short stories, beautiful fairy tale retellings, and the art. There's art in this book. It's so pretty. Let's see. Okay, well, there's art in this. See how pretty that is? Oh, it's Leigh Bardugo, and then it's Leigh Bardugo and Sarah Kippen was the one who did the art. Oh my gosh. Ow. I think I'm old because my hip is hurting. It's a bunch of short stories, like fairy tales, that are from each country in the Shadow and Bone world. So, Grishover's world, I guess you could say. Next, Family Flyers. Family Flyers is 294 pages. I gave it 4.5 stars. I said plot twist, low moments, great aesthetic. It's a very great aesthetic. It's based in either the 80s or the 90s, like late 80s, early 90s, I think. It's actually really good, you know. Like, We Are Liars was super, like, book talk famous in 2021, and I like that book, but it was like a 3.5 star book. This one definitely upped its game, in my opinion. It's a really good book if you like mysteries that are set in the 80s or 90s. Nice. That are also kind of beachy. It's a beachy book. Ooh, what fun one is next? Okay, the last book. Right? Yeah, the last book in September. The Love Hypothesis. Again, a really cute cover. It's 383 pages. I gave it 5 stars. Oh, it's the next 5-star book. I keep forgetting. Did I say? Oh my gosh. Okay. Did I say the name of the person who wrote this book? Leigh, who's her name? E. Lockhart is who wrote this book. Okay. And this is by Ali Hazelwood. Keep forgetting to say names. I said funny with an exclamation mark. You know the word I'm trying to say. Cute, loved, the tropes, grumpy, ex-sunshine, fake dating. It was such a cute book. It was like one of those like books, you know, like yeah, you know, like yeah. I like this book. I had so much fun reading it. I had like one night where I was like, I had a face mask. Actually, it was 2 nights where I had like face mask and the room was purple and it was just really fun. So I really like this book. Actually, stop. I really love this book. Gotta say that for 5-star books. Ooh, is October. Scary. Ooh, okay. Ooh, speaking of a ghost. Is the next book a 5-star? Maybe. That is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Now, I've not talked about this book because I have not done its end of the month thing because the next book took me a while to read. So this is my chance to talk about it. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. It's, how many pages are you? 389 pages. I gave it 5 stars. Was that me being in shock or was that just me having slight indigestion? Twists and turns. Good ones. That shock. Huh? Oh man, I can't read my handwriting apparently. I like this said twists and turns that shock you funny, but it just said twists and turns, period, funny. So they don't shock you funny, they're just, the book is funny. Did you understand that? So gripping. It is so funny. It is so gripping. It has such a good mystery. You
like the cover? Is it a nice cover?
If you love mystery, you should definitely read this. That is worth the hype. It's man, because there's so many plot twists at the end. Like there's a plot twist, and then there's another plot twist, and then there's a bunch of plot twists, and there's like a suspect list, and the whole time you're like, ooh, it's you, oh, it's you, but no, it's not you, oh, it's you, oh, it's definitely not you, even though it looks like it's you, and then it shocks you who it is. Gotta be shocked. The last book. Oh my gosh, I did all these books in one day. Okay, next. This book I finished 2 days ago and I started reading it in October. I'm sorry. It took me a few months to read. It took me a hot second, but we will not be mad because it was a good book. And that, ladies and gentlemen, our final read of the night, of the year, All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman. Sounds like a frog. Herman. The fact that I have like a large amount of my family with the last name Herman, and I just said that name sounds like a frog, we'll ignore it. I don't think they watch my videos, so I'm safe. For now. It's like the Hunger Games, but very different. Actually, the only thing similar to Hunger Games is that they're all in a tournament. 393 pages. I think I gave it 4 stars. I did not write it down for some reason, and I don't have my book journal, but I think it was 300. I think it was 4 stars. So every family sends in their child, they're older than children, to fight in a tournament and whoever is the last one alive is standing. Whoever lives gets this high magic, and they can either choose to be evil or they can choose to rewrite their story and be good. And so the difference between this, another difference between this and the Hunger Games, is that in the Hunger Games you basically follow 2 main characters, plus a little bit of another one, and then the villains. But in this one, you basically follow all of them except for 2. But you follow, kind of 3, but you follow all of them and you're rooting for all of them, but you choose one that you're like, if one of you is gonna live, it's gonna be you. So, I will say, I think what took me so long to read this was the beginning, because I liked the beginning, but it wasn't as good as when they actually got into the tournament. Also, they have magic, like magic rings and stuff, and there's a book called Tradition of Tragedy, which its quotes are like in the beginning of each chapter, and it's basically a book trying to, like spread awareness about this tournament and how it's bad and how it should be stopped. It's kind of like fantasy, but it's also there's a lot of modern stuff, like there's paparazzi and they dress modern and stuff like that, so it's a good book. The award for the most common page count of like 100, 200, 300, that kind of thing, was 300s and 400s. I think 300s won a little bit more, but 400s came very close. So let's give 300 and let's give 300 and applause. And then nothing but our gratitude. Most read author. I'll give you 2 seconds to guess. 1, 2. It was Leigh Bardugo. Obviously, let's give her. That was the book, not me. Let's give her a round of applause. You win nothing, but good job. Oh, okay, sorry. Come back. You have another award. Okay. Favorite author. Can you guess it? Can anybody? Can you guess it? She's standing right here. Can you? No, you're wrong. Okay. It was Leigh Bardugo, so. The winner for the favorite book of the whole year. Can you guess? It was the first book, actually, that I read. The first. It was Cricket Kingdom. Cricket Kingdom wins prize for best book of the year. Second place was People We Meet on Vacation. I don't know what third place would be. It's either Love Hypothesis or Good Girls Guide to Murder. I don't know which one. Most read genre. See, it was romance with a score of, it was either 8 or 9. I think it was 8 though. Second place is fantasy at a score of 5, and in third place is mystery at a score of 4. 4? Really? Wait, hold on. What's mystery here? Oh, yes. Okay. I don't know if I can. Wow. So, last year I read, I think, oh man, how many was it? Was it 7? Not 7. It had to be more than 7. But I was so proud because I've never been a reader, really. I mean, I can read, obviously, but I've never been a, like, book person. And so the fact that I read more than, like, 2 books in that year, I was so, like, excited. And so I think it's kind of cool how far I've come. Like, this is a lot more than 7. And who knows, maybe 2024, there's a piece of dust flying around. Maybe in 2024, I will come back and show you my 30 books. Probably not though, but I might. Such a tall stack. I have to put it all back. Oh man. I feel like last year was a good year of reading. Also, I started this channel last year, and I feel like there's been good videos, you know, my 24-hour video, a bunch of TBR lists, a bunch of random things, but I definitely have more coming. And I actually have another video probably coming very soon after this one. And yeah, I'm very excited for the videos that I will make in this year. I'm very excited about the books that I will read, the books I will tell you about. And so, and if you want to see that, then subscribe. I just wanted to give an apology to editing me. This will not be a fun video to edit. I'm sorry about that. So, with all love, Elizabeth. Bye.